As wind and snow blasted by, Kevin's truck sped down the treacherous road. Because of the poor weather, only few drivers dared to venture out on the roadway. Occasionally, a car would speed by and vanish into the heavy blizzard. Kevin grinned, gazing into the rearview mirror at a photo of his wife, Laura. With Christmas just around the corner, he could hardly wait to see her at home. After spending almost 2 months traveling the length of the nation, he was now coming home with a unique gift for his cherished wife. He removed a tiny box from the glove compartment by reaching inside. Grinning, he peered inside to discover the gold necklace he had bought Laura still nestled inside, glistening against the Christmas decor. Kevin pushed the pedal even harder after putting the box back into the glove compartment. The truck shot past the snow-covered forests and into the city, emitting a puff of smoke. Kevin parked the truck at the truck stop and made the last portion of his journey home on foot. Noticing how things had changed since his departure, he couldn't help but stroll around the streets he knew so well. People had been glum and sullen at work in the fall, but today, in spite of the gloomy sky, the chilly temperatures, and the persistent snowfall, everyone seemed to be grinning and gawking at the mistletoe-adorned store displays with a sense of childish amazement. Kevin waved to the passing neighbors as he arrived at his house. He even assisted a young mother who was carrying her pram all the way to the 3rd floor. When he finally arrived at his flat, he eagerly concealed behind the wall to surprise Laura after ringing the doorbell a few times. He rubbed his hands together excitedly, waiting to see how she would respond. However, as time went on, nobody answered the door, which worried and perplexed Kevin. Kevin looked in his pockets for his keys, puzzled, and opened the door by himself. As he entered the dim corridor, he yelled, "Hello, is anyone home?" "I'm home. Surprise, my love," I said, but got no answer. Kevin moved through the kitchen, living room, and bedroom without taking off his shoes, but nobody was present. It looked like Laura had not been home for a week or more since dust had gathered everywhere. Concerned more than ever, Kevin pulled out his phone to give his wife a call, only to find it dead. He threw the phone down in frustration and hurried to the landline on the table, where he discovered a note next to it. The handwritten note from his wife said, "I'm sorry it didn't work out," which he read. Kevin said to himself, "I realized I deserved more. I met someone else and have found happiness. I wish you the same. Goodbye." He then furiously crumpled up the paper and threw it against the wall. As he settled into the couch, he asked himself aloud, what does it even mean? The only person who knew the answer to Kevin's query was Laura, and even she didn't know where she was. Her aroma lingered in the wardrobe, and after her there was nothing left in the flat. Kevin hesitated before deciding to visit Laura's place of employment, a fast food restaurant where they had first connected 2 years prior. Laura had recently moved from a small town to the city and was working there at the time. She relied on her GPS to navigate the city as she was still getting acclimated to it. Kevin was the one who gave her orientation and assisted her in navigating the city. After falling in love, they tied the knot and made plans to live a happily ever after. But now the message crushed under the sofa was all that remained of their life together. Kevin dressed fast and hurried out of his flat. Upon arriving at the restaurant via taxi, he witnessed Laura boarding a red BMW, with a well-dressed man holding the door open for her. Kevin recognized seeing Laura's supervisor from his enormous frame and bald head. He was not a very likable person, and there were a lot of unfounded rumors about him. While some claimed he had previously been involved in drug trafficking, others thought he was a member of a sizable criminal organization and had opened multiple restaurants with the money he acquired from it after leaving that life behind. Despite the fact that Scene's wealth and connections made him feared and revered by many, he was not well liked in the city. But for now, that was irrelevant. The kind of person Laura had decided to leave her nice and honest husband for was what mattered. Kevin hesitated for a second before sprinting in the direction of the car, but it was too late. Kevin was left standing in the filthy snow as the BMW drove off down an alley, taking his wife with it. Kevin walked away, pulling his hood up and his hat over his ears while cursing. He pushed past everyone in his path as he hurried down the sidewalk. He drank for several days, his thoughts oscillating between reality and his dreams. Kevin would occasionally feel as though the apartment's front door was opening, and he would dash out into the corridor. However, he would fall to the ground in despair and strike it with his fist when he realized that no one was present. As he climbed up on the ledge to open the window, he nearly fell from the fourth story because he thought he saw Laura smiling at him through the window. If it weren't for his elderly neighbor downstairs who had had enough of the commotion and came to check on Kevin, it's uncertain how long he would have kept drinking. "Oh, it's you, Mr. Feist," Kevin muttered to himself while holding the door open for his neighbor. Kevin remarked, "What are you doing up this early?" Mr. Feist glanced at his watch and realized that Christmas morning was 3:20. "Well, I came to wish you a Merry Christmas." He entered the flat with a casual demeanor. "I noticed that you have been celebrating for some time now," he said, glancing at the numerous bottles strewn about the living room. Kevin remarked, "I'm tired of this," with embarrassment as he wiped his crimson face with a t-shirt. He said, "I don't feel like celebrating, maybe more like mourning," as he opened the living room to Mr. Feist. Kevin handed him a glass of whiskey and said, "My wife left me, and I've been drinking. Care to join?" Kevin sat down on the couch and started telling the neighbor the rambling tale of how he and Laura split up, along with what Laura had written in her message, while the neighbor drank. Kevin asked Mr. Feist, "Was I making decent money?" without anticipating a response. "Yeah, sort of. Not as much as her new lover, but not too awful either." "Did I take her to Spain?" "Yeah, for sure. Guess a ton. Maybe I did miss something after all, guy. I gave her." As they sat there, telling stories and laughing, the warmth of the holiday spirit surrounded the tiny flat, and Alex's happy laugh echoed the happiness that had at last crept into their life. Kevin couldn't help but think back on the journey that had brought them to this point as they sat around the table, enjoying their Christmas dinner. From the heartache and betrayal he had gone through to the surprising turns of events that led him to Christine and Alex, it had been a turbulent but ultimately fruitful year. Amid the joking and giggles, Kevin looked at Christine, his heart exploding with love and appreciation. She had been his partner, his rock, and his confidant through it all. Together, they had surmounted challenges and created a new road ahead. Kevin felt a wave of contentment come over him as the evening came to an end, and they said their sincere goodbyes to Mr. Feist. The preceding year had been full of obstacles and unknowns, but it had also offered him unexpected blessings and deeply joyful moments. Kevin had newfound optimism for the future as he strolled hand in hand with Christine and Alex through the peaceful streets. No matter what obstacles were ahead, they would tackle them as a family. With a smile, he silently thanked the universe for bringing them together and for all the blessings they had received. And as they walked into their quaint flat with the warm glow of the Christmas tree twinkling above, Kevin realized that no matter what lay ahead, they would always have each other. Though their road had been long and difficult, they had come out stronger and more resilient than ever before. And as they tucked in for the night, surrounded by love and warmth, Kevin couldn't help but feel a sense of serenity wash over him. With Christine and Alex at his side, he knew that everything was possible. And as he closed his eyes, he felt an overwhelming sense of thankfulness for the love that was all around him, and the bright future that lay ahead of them. Kevin was excited for the experiences that lay ahead of them as the new year drew near, as he knew that they would always have each other for support through whatever difficulties they encountered. With Christine and Alex at his side, he was ready to face whatever the future contained, secure in their love and strength as a family. And so, as Christmas faded into memory and a new year dawned, Kevin welcomed the future with hope and optimism, knowing that the best was yet to come. Kevin closed his eyes as the clock struck midnight and the new year began, silently wishing for his family and everyone he loved to have happiness, health, and prosperity. And when he opened his eyes to a brand new day, he knew that no matter what obstacles were ahead, they would face them together, with love in their hearts and hope in their souls. Kevin knew that love was what really mattered in the end, and with love, they would overcome any obstacle and conquer any challenge that came their way. So as the new year unfolded, he embraced each day with gratitude and joy, cherishing the moments they shared as a family and looking forward to the adventures that lay ahead. Kevin faced the future with courage and determination, ready to embrace whatever came their way, knowing that they would face it together, as a family, forever and always. And as they stood together, watching the first light of dawn break over the horizon, he realized that no matter what the future held, they would always have each other. That brought an end to Kevin's journey, which was a story of love, resiliency, and the everlasting strength of family. And as time went on and new chapters emerged, Kevin and his family would keep writing their own story, one that was full of laughter, love, and the limitless potential of the human spirit. Kevin was filled with awe at the limitless opportunities that awaited him as he stared out of the window, watching the city come to life with the first light of dawn. The new year had given him a fresh sense of purpose and determination, and he was prepared to take advantage of the opportunities that were waiting for him. Kevin turned his back on the window and headed for the kitchen, where Christine was already cooking breakfast. The smell of coffee was just brewing and blended with the aroma of pancakes cooking on the stove. Alex, still wiping the sleep from his eyes, wandered in and sat down at the table with them. Love, connection, and the warmth of those closest to you are what truly matter in life. And Kevin felt a deep sense of gratitude for the simple moments of happiness they shared as a family as they sat together, enjoying their breakfast and discussing plans for the day ahead. Following breakfast, they pulled on their warm clothes and ventured out into the brisk winter air. People were going about their daily lives, and Kevin couldn't help but be excited about the experiences that lay ahead of them. From the busy markets full of artisanal goods to the peaceful parks covered in snow, they spent the day exploring the city, going to some of their favorite sites, and discovering new ones along the way. Every moment was filled with laughter and happiness. With life far from ideal, Kevin experienced a profound sense of contentment as the day came to an end, and they headed back home. In that moment, surrounded by the people he loved, he couldn't imagine being anywhere else. A feeling of calm washed over Kevin as they got comfortable for the night. The difficulties of the previous year had only made them closer as a family, and he knew that no matter what lay ahead, they would face it as a unit, with love in their hearts and hope in their souls. Kevin smiled as he closed his eyes and fell asleep, knowing that he was right where he was supposed to be, surrounded by love, and with a heart full of appreciation for all the blessings he had been given. Together, Kevin, Christine, and Alex bravely and resiliently navigated life's ups and downs, cherishing every moment they shared as a family. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months, but no matter what obstacles they faced or where life took them, they remained steadfast in their love for one another. Kevin realized that in the end, all that really mattered was the love and connection they shared as a family, bound together by the unbreakable ties of the human heart. And as the years went by and new adventures emerged, He knew that no matter what the future held, they would always have each other. Kevin, Christine, and Alex built a life full of love, laughter, and shared experiences as the seasons changed and time went on. They celebrated life's major events together, from graduations and promotions to birthdays and anniversaries, each one underscoring the depth of their relationship. Whether it was navigating career changes, supporting each other through difficult times, or just being there to listen, their unwavering support for one another never wavered. They faced the inevitable challenges that life presented head-on, drawing strength from one another and growing closer with each obstacle overcome. Knowing that they had instilled in their son the values of kindness, perseverance, and integrity that would serve him well in life, Kevin and Christine watched with pride as Alex grew older and started his own journey, following his passions and carving out his own path in the world. In the meantime, Kevin and Christine kept their relationship going by making time for quiet intimacy in the middle of the business of daily life. Whether it was a romantic dinner at their favorite restaurant, a leisurely stroll in the park, or a cozy night in watching films, they never lost sight of the significance of maintaining their connection and fanning the flames of passion. A testament to the enduring power of true love and commitment, their love grew stronger and more vibrant as the years passed, weathering the passage of time with grace and resilience. They grew old together, their hair turning silver and their faces lined with the wisdom of a lifetime spent in each other's company. Thus, Kevin, Christine, and Alex realized they had been incredibly fortunate as they reflected on a life well lived, full of treasured memories and common experiences. For within each other's arms, they had discovered the most precious gift of all, a love that spanned time and space and bound them together irrevocably, both now and forevermore.